Okay. I think we are good. I think we are live. I think everything is working properly, guys. Please, let me know if you come across any issues, whether it be on the sound, whether it be me freezing, whatever it is, please let me know what it is. But anyway, guys, welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, and this, of course, is a place where we love South African football. We love African football, and today, all of these things are going to come together like this. They're going to come together like this, because this weekend, we had the beginning stages of the CAF Champions League. Some big shockers, Rulani losing, Sundowns winning, Kaizer Chiefs losing in the Confed, and then, of course, Stellenbosch, I believe, won their game. We're going to be talking about those things and a little bit more tonight. Welcome if it's your first time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. is when the show is on, and if you miss anything, all the shows are available in full on YouTube right there. Remember, it's a very interactive show where you can jump in and tell me exactly what you are thinking about whatever it is we're talking about. This show is crafted for you, and how it's going to work is that there's going to be 4 panels of 25 minutes. And there's going to be 5 people per panel, and each person is going to get 5 minutes to tell me what they are thinking about whatever it is we're talking about, and we're going to go from there. So please, when you come on, 2 minutes to tell me what you're thinking, so that I can have the 3 minutes to ask you some questions and go back and forth. Can we please respect each other? There's a timer for a reason. There's 3 things we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to start off with Umbogazi. Mbogazi is a player that apparently has escaped pirates. The rumors have it that he was in the US to sign a deal with the Chicago Fire, who he would be joining in January for a reported fee of 51 million rand. Then we're going to go into Sundowns, who took on St. Eloi Lupopo, a team that gave another team some troubles, but Sundowns managed to go 3-1 in that game and win that one. Then, of course, we're going to have Kaizer Chiefs, who lost to Al Masry 2-1 in Egypt. And we're going to end it off. The last 30 minutes is going to be just an open session where you'll be able to jump in and tell me exactly what you are thinking about whatever it is we're speaking about, whatever news you want to speak about. We're going to have the last 30 minutes for that. So, guys, let's get straight into it. I'm going to ask you to please request by pressing the button at the bottom of your screen on TikTok that has a blue figure hugging a pink figure. Click on that one. I let you in. We can have a conversation. You can be part of the first 5. We're going to be speaking all things transfers. Well, one specific transfer, which is Umbogazi, allegedly going over to Chi-Town. He's going to the Go. He's going to be joining Chicago. Allegedly. Follow if you have not followed. Please tap the screen as many times as you can. And I'm going to let Kusiso start. Kusiso, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, and you, sir?
I'm good. Kusiso, 51 million. 51 million. Baden Boga Aziki, 51 million. How do you feel about this news?
I think it's one of the great news that the boy has shown himself. He has shown that why deserve and take him, but we are happy for him, man. I want a life. We are very much happy. Yo, are you still there, OT?
I'm still here. Am I freezing? I'm still here.
Yeah, you're freezing. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, sorry, man. But you can go on. It's okay. There? You can go on. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's a great move for the boy, man. He must go and challenge Abone Bophelo ka molantle and get some experiences alongwana. The likes of Unkota, they went there to represent the country, and for now, the young players, this kind of opportunity, or experience life. Remember, most of the players South Africa, they didn't get that chance at the young age to experience life out there, to see the challenges out there. So for me, well done, Mbogazi. You fought, Bero Preisa, Utswere Rebero, Watswara Reinas, many, and then the boy deserve to be there, man.
What do you say to the people? What do you say to the people that say MLS of all the leagues you could go to? Why are you going to MLS? Nkota, uko Saudi, uchimali bo Wijnaldum, uchimali di players holo, Nambogazi uya ko Chicago Fire. How do you feel about that? That to the people that say that he's going to a lesser league?
You know, for me, I was expecting him to go to England, maybe, or Italy. It's just that he will a 10 off, a 10 over young way, nobody has expected it. But now for now, I'm saying, I experience if any good offer ka tswelela akere o ya mo no feel or the offer is there. If someone spotted him kako MLS and mama I don't have a problem or overpalakai in one expectations England he will play with the big fish. But I think Leona Chicago it's one of the best, man. Credit, let us give credit where it's due, and then okay, experience maybe probably I cannot just something somewhere even in Kota we said hey, why in Kota I can get Saudi Arabia, but if they offer Saudi Arabia it's Kiona, why can't we let the boy go and experience Bophelo ba gagwe fao? Remember,
for the last minute here, Mfuke, is the window closed? Ansa bona bombogazi batsamaya, bonkota batsamaya. O tlo tsamaya Mfukeng or tshwantsa jule?
I think Mfuke now Sanjora atsamaye, but the thing or who's raising hands for Mfukeng or ne, we want you here. It's a bit tricky, and then wabona Mfukeng. The game yana tse dintšhanyana ba sa bapale, so I don't know whether ke tabela ya khalenyana pele ba e bolela gore ka re mnyaka kae but le ena ke nagana re ntho e tlo mo go batša tlhaloganyong gore okay di-player di a tsamaya they are young and ke nna ke bile ke tsene pele ga bona, and then o ka re letsogo la ka o ka ra ba le bone le ena ke re o deserve gore a ya bapale ka ntle sa le ngwana a ya experience life there a boe. But if there's no other team or it's raising hands for him or Zogala, what can I say more? But we are hoping okare akakwita slot nyana, but for now I give okare those players they can have that experience ya bapala Champions League, man. I mean, like they are raising their hands there and they are representing us well. Yeah.
For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me go to BT. BT, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, BT, you sound far away, man.
Oh, okay. Let me do this.
Uko Pavim.
I'm good. How are you?
Uko Pavim.
Well, can you make it after him?
Okay. Let's go to Mnyageni. Mnyageni, welcome, Paganelami. How are you? Yeah. Mnyageni.
Ngiyaphila uyangizwa bhuti?
Ngikuzwa kahle bhuti wami. Uthini ngale ndaba kaMbokazi?
Indaba kaMbokazi as umjita wase South Africa, and as umfana ufuna ukuthuthukisa impilo yomndeni wakhe, I'm happy for yena.
Yeah.
But as umlandeli webhola, I don't know how I feel about this move, because into engibhekile ngibheka ukuthi how many national teams abiza ama-player adlala ku-MLS azo-represent ama-countries wabo. Is MLS are we considering MLS as one of those big leagues la singathumela ama-prospering young players wethu khona? And how many players who are going from MLS to Europe to represent to the biggest leagues? So kula ubheka khona ukuthi is it Great move for i-Pirates. Yeah, they've made the profits for uMbokazi. uMbokazi uzokwazi ukusupporta ifamily yakhe. But for career wise, what are the chances ukuthi uMbokazi will leave from MLS Europe? So
Do
I
you
don't know how.
think do you think Mnyageni, does this raise questions whether this was planned? Do you think that this is a planned thing, or is it just kuti mali fikile? Do you worry about Mbokazi's career going forward?
I do worry about i-career kaMbokazi angengiqamba amanga, and ngafeel ukuthi this thing, it was a planned thing. And manje I think the Pirates manje bafuna ukususa le stigma ukuthi abantu they trying to ukubafaka to babiza Pirates as a prison FC, whereby abantu abafuna ukurelease ama-players, because if you have to release i-player ungacabangi i-profit kuphela, cabanga ne-career ye-player lakho ukuthi, especially as uMbokazi amncane. uMbokazi is 20 years old. If I'm sending uMbokazi to MLS, ngithini ngecareer yakhe? Do I see uMbokazi making it out from MLS to Europe, or vele sengimthumela ku-MLS? We heard abonjabulo Blom left the Kaizer Chiefs to MLS. Abo Mailula went to MLS, nothing happened. We have Abo Ohlongwani now, MLS, nothing's happening. We have players from South Africa who are playing MLS, but there is nothing. There is nothing a change. More they're losing their spots with national team. So I'm worried to see if we see which MLS is not great of a league. Why are we sending our best players to MLS? So I'm worried about, and especially young players. I can understand if I'm maybe Umbokazi 29, I will understand. Okay, now go and get the man. But now you're still young, and amehlo awekho ku-MLS. The only people who are watching MLS, it's because of Umesi. People want to watch Umesi kuphela, but to scout for talent, I doubt.
Can I ask you for the last minute here? When you look at Mbokazi and going that side, it's unfair question. Do you think it's too early for him also? Because we forget, Guti, this man has only been playing top football for a year.
I don't think it's necessarily too early for Mbokazi ukuthi ahambe South Africa, but for him to go to specifically MLS, that's where it's too early for him. Like, it's too early. MLS, I don't see it as a league for young players and the future promising. I see MLS njenge Saudi Arabia ukuthi, if now you're old, you want to make money, go to MLS or go to Saudi Arabia and go and get the bag. But for you to hamba usemncane to MLS, I think usheshe wagagamela lapha, and the Pirates gagamelile. But njengoba ngishilo ukuthi in terms of imali and uzo support ifamily yakhe, big up for that. But in terms of career, I'm worried about the career yakhe ukuthi what's next from there. And aski sine Mr. Utsime ngifuna ukukhuluma nale khona lo mbuzo lo mawubuzile in terms of
very quickly
Umfukeng. I feel like Umfukeng currently angeke sithola ama-offer for yena, because of, I feel like coach doesn't play Umfukeng ku-position where complementayo Umfukeng ukuthi akhiphe his best ability. If you take a look last season, Umfukeng, there were talks ukuthi uyafunwa, because of he was playing on the position where makakwazi ukushowcase. Right now coach ukuthi athathe ispace kaMfukeng asinike uMremi, ceda phathi uMfukeng abuya azoncenga nabo Maswangayi nabo Mbule lapha, then iyamvalela ishine yakhe. Then that's why now people Mfukeng maybe lento yamlimaza ukuthi uNkotho uhambile. No, it's because of Mfukeng. He's not playing on his best position because of coach.
For time, I'm gonna have to jump in. Let me bring in Tuto. Tuto, welcome to the show.
Hello, mister. How are you?
I'm good, and you, Tuto. Tell me about this thing, man. How do you feel about Mbokazi?
Honestly, man, it's a premature move. It's the wrong club. I feel like there are very many things that are wrong about this deal. Like, as a loyal Kosi fan, man, I'm not happy for the boy that he's going to MLS, especially Chicago Fire. I heard the first speaker. He said that it's one of the best. Chicago Fire is not one of the best. Now Last time I checked the league table, I think they finished bottom of the table. They didn't even make it to the MLS Cup playoffs, meaning that if he were to go now to MLS, he will only play an official match in February, which is a very, very bad thing for him and also performance. Because if he doesn't play from now up until February, there's no way that Umadala is going to pick him. We know Umadala, like Umadala. He does what he wants. If you're not playing, you're not performing, he's not going to pick you. It's simple like that. So about the move. Firstly, MLS Cup, I feel like it's a retirement league. We've seen the players that go there. Abo Messi. You guys say Umbogazi is going to play Umesi. Umesi is at the end of his career. There is no way that you're gonna hype Umbogazi Guti. He managed to pocket Umesi when he was in his early 40s. Because there's nothing good about it. Why shouldn't the boy go to our Belgium? Like there are good leagues in Europe that can help a player Akulayo to develop properly, not MLS. And also I've seen that the very same agent that negotiated his deal is the very same agent that negotiated other deals for the South Africans. I think Keishasi and Jabulo Blom. And we all know how did that end. It was not so well. So yeah, they should have done better. And also, why not they wait for the AFCON and World Cup? Because I'm willing to bet on everything Utimbogas will do well on both tournaments, for sure. We've seen what he did to Abu Lukman in that game here in Nigeria. There is no way that the boy was going to fumble all that in AFCON in the World Cup. Why wouldn't they wait for the tournament?
So why do you think Paris was in a rush? Why do you think Paris took it now, knowing that maybe his value was going to go up, AFCON and World Cup? Why do you think Paris wanted it now?
I think that it brings the thing Yagam Fuke. I think they were scared to repeat, because from what I'm seeing now, it's gonna require a miracle from Mfukeng to come back to his actual form where he actually gets to go to Europe. So I think like because they realized Uguti Umufukeng, they were supposed to make a move for him and sell him, and then they didn't. Now he's out of his form, and there's absolutely small chances to Nanuguti he's gonna bench Oswina Police. So I think they were trying to avoid making the same mistake, and then they ended up making the wrong move. And Umbogas, I doubt that he would say no to the move, because I mean he wants to make imali for himself and his family.
Marimali now is fun, but then short-term like if you don't plan your career, you might end up like Casillas. Casillas is looking for a team. He's in Belgium now. He's not playing. He's been bouncing around. That long career might be short now. Isn't that something we should be looking at with these players?
We should actually, which is where the concept, the factor Yaga agent comes in. The agent can say, give us AFCON or the World Cup to find a better club. Yes, we know you want to sell the boy, but then can you just give us? It's only 6-7 months before we go to the World Cup. I mean, I'm sure they could have waited for that long to get him a way better club, because he's definitely deserving of one. Not the Chicago Fire, not disrespect intended, but then Chicago Fire, it's a no from me. They should have definitely done better.
Okay, no, Tuso, thank you, Tuto, thank you so much. Let me go to agent. I've had agent. Can you speak for your people?
Shalom, my friend. Yeah, shalom. Hey, Mr. OT. You know, when you go to university, you'll find some kids studying Bachelor of Arts in piano playing, Bachelor of Arts in swimming, you know. But some of us, you can't do Bachelor of Arts in swimming. You have to go for actual sciences, engineering, because you know where you're coming from. You know, not because some of us would have loved to learn Bachelor of Science in swimming, so that you can learn how to swim and being, you know what. But situations doesn't allow us.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes in this halabaloo of, no, we want Bogazi to be a European player, playing the top 5 league and everything. In the midst of everything, do you consider where the player is from and say maybe what should be the target for this young man? Maybe it's not football heights, maybe it's money height. You know, there's a player called Oscar. I think I was with Tommy. He just reminded me of Oscar. Oscar looked at himself and said, I'm one of the hottest prospects around here. You know what? But where I'm from doesn't allow me to dream of Ballon d'Or and the likes. But you know what? Let me go to China, get all the money. And when he comes back into Europe, they do tests and they see, you have a heart problem. And his football career is done. But he got the money. You know?
I wanna use your analogy about varsity.
Yeah.
You know, is it a case that we don't know what to do with the piano playing degree, but there's kids who understand the pathway, and maybe what we are lacking in South Africa is that money is easy as the simpler option because the other side is not as clear.
Yeah, you know, as I think in the conversation that I was having with the gents, I was like, Pitso reminded us of saying, do we have a target market for our players? You know, why can't we have, say, a Ajax Amsterdam partnership at a national level? You know, that we have partnership with Bundesliga, with, I don't know, Eredivisie, where we know that it can even allow for flexible contracts, you know, where we can give you a 6 months contract to trial out if we allow it. And if you do well, you do well. If you don't, you can come back, you know. So we don't have a pathway that we create intentionally. We're just all over. And if we can create a pool of South African players in a certain league, in a certain continent, then they'll come back for more definitely, you know. Hence in MLS right now, if you see that they started with Bob Blom, they started with Tshwane. They're coming for more because they saw something, you know. So we should be intentional about those kind of things as opposed to never having by mistake. But Mr. Uti, back to Mbogazi, another issue that we also have to consider in everything here, right, is do we allow him to be a great superstar while waiting for that big move? Do we allow him to be this great local star that will never go anywhere? You Million Kunes, the Teko Modises, the Watches. Yes, you know. So do we allow him to get to that point? You know? And sometimes we have to be fair to the boy that yes, and as another point, moving to the next point, anything can happen. Okozie, cream of the crop, he goes to a trial, there's a problem, he can't go. You know, it can happen right now that Mbogazi gets an injury and that contract is never coming. You know, we'll never know the future. The only thing that you have control over is the present. So focus on the present. So for me, in as much as I don't like the MLS, I don't like the move, I understand it and accept it for the boy.
Okay. Let me see if Pity. So Pumile Pavi. Pity.
Hello.
Omnati.
Hello. Kumnati, Papa.
Okay. Tell me what you think about this situation, Gambogas.
Let me be honest. I'm a Sundowns fan. Mbokazi is one of the people that I rate highly. And for him to go to MLS, it's going to be difficult for him to go to Europe. I agree with I don't know who it was. I agree with him that moving from the MLS going to Europe is going to be difficult. But let's be honest, at the moment, the South African League is growing every day. Look at Sundowns, look at Leicester Pirates, look at Stellenbosch. All these teams, in the past, both Chiefs, they didn't rate Champions League. They would even sometimes not even participate. And those things, they contributed to the player Radiska Bona. But now, at 20, Mbokazi is still left with 2-3 years for the teams in Europe to come on. But I also agree that with the World Cup coming, definitely they were going to see him. Lucas Ribeiro, look what he did go Club World Cup. He was in demand. It's just that Sundowns, I think the price and also teams they know Sundowns plays well and they tend to obviously be scared to, especially that Sundowns can even recruit players from overseas and bring them to South Africa. So personally, I believe that Mbokazi, looking at the way he played, he suited the top 5 leagues in Europe. And look at the guy, what's his name? The guy who left Paris to go to France, and then now he's playing, is it Wolves? He's playing
Burnley.
in England.
Yeah, Munetsi.
You say the problem with, I think South African players, they tend to rush to go to these other teams because there are many players who are from outside South Africa. You name them, Zimbabwe, other countries, they'll come here and use South Africa, the same South African league, and they'll go to Europe and they'll end up being at the top teams. So personally, I believe that, no, this is not a right move for him. I expected him to go to either Belgium, I think France would have been a perfect one. France would have been a perfect one. And now he's at MLS. That's the end of him. Yes. Yaka, the previous person said, injuries can come. And high local MLS right now, he can make money. But no, it's not like in South Africa, he's not being paid. He's getting money. I still believe for it. He's getting a very good check. So I still believe that it's not like he's not being paid like Liki Sabo Botswana, Sabo Lesotho. No, he's being paid. So if
is it? Can I just ask for time's sake here? Is it possible for a player to go from the PSL to a top 5 league straight?
It's possible, yes. I can really community.
Munetsi ke Zimbabwean.
France. Munetsi ke Zimbabwean, but okay, I still believe that right now it's possible that a player can move from South Africa because look at the way South Africa is performing. They managed to beat even Morocco. CAF winning, I get it. So these things, these highlights are even in terms of the ranking. South Africa has improved. Now I think they're they're in the top 10, South Africa. In the FIFA rankings, I mean, in Africa.
In Africa.
So if they're in the top 10, yeah. So if they're in the top 10 in Africa, then it shows where there's something they are doing. There's something right they are doing. So personally, I believe that right now it's possible. Remember, previously it was difficult for players to break into the first team, Balibo 1920, because there was no idiski league right now. So that is why South African players were not recognized because at 23 they are still youngsters. At 25, youngsters because they've just broken into the first team. But right now, Bomboka is fucking. Look at this guy Sundowns. I remember his name for the sake of time. So. Right now, South African players they will go to they can go to the top 5 leagues because they are still young. Even this boy who was on supersport, he's playing for Belgium right now, and he's doing very well. He went there. He's still a youngster. He went there. I think was Campbell. Campbell is doing very well for Belgium. He went straight to Belgium and some Champions League as we speak.
For time, I'm gonna have to jump in.
Yeah.
For time, I'm gonna have to jump in, guys. What I'll do is at the end of the show, the last 30 minutes, I'm gonna open it up again so that we can review what has been said. But thank you to everybody that jumped in. All I want to say about Mbogazi personally is a couple of things. Number one, I think what we deem as young and what they deem as young is two different things. So Mbogazi, if I were to choose between a 20-year-old Mbogazi who's played one season of professional football, yes, he's looked very good, or a 17, 18-year-old from La Masia, you probably take the La Masia one. And it goes back to a thing where I've always said that every time we want our players to go into the top 5 leagues, we forget that there's a lot of development that still needs to be done. And we're essentially asking those teams to take on that development on our behalf, right? And if I'm taking a 20-year-old and I want him to go break into Europe, I think by that time it's late. Historically, it has been shown even here there was the under 17s, the 17-year-olds, the 18-year-olds. That's when they went overseas. That's when they were making their debuts for Bafana. That's when they were doing all these things. You look at a Tylon Smith who goes over from DDC straight, number one. Number two, just to be on the positive side with the move, Mbogazi is going to be coached by Greg Berhalter. He was the previous U.S. men's national team coach, so the first team of America. What that guy, they've said about him is that he believes a lot in youth. So he loves the youth option. He's the one that brought in what's his name? Bo Pulisic. He brought in a lot of the players who were young at the time, and there were questions about them. I think Josie Altidore and all of those guys came under him. So maybe it might be a case that he's going to a place where he might be a starter immediately, right? But the big thing that's my problem here is what planning was done for Mbogazi's career and who was in charge of those plannings, who was in charge of all of that stuff, right? Who was guiding the process? Because my worry is that Mbogazi comes into the Pirates team, there's injuries, he's parachuted into the Pirates team. He does very well. He's barely played a year. I think he's only got a year in first team football right now. He's parachuted into Bafana. He's now parachuted into Chicago. How much time has he had? How much time has him and his representatives and all these people had to sit down and say, this is where his career will go? Because in as much as you guys are talking about the money, yeah, guys, 3, 4, 5 years of relatively good money is cool. But what happens after that? You look at a Cassius Mailula right now, the money might have been great, all of that has been great. He's bouncing around. That career that's maybe supposed to be 12, 15 years now becomes an 8-year career, and now he has to come back to the PSL, right? Also, if we're being honest, the monies that side aren't necessarily comparable for the teams that you're going to. Saudi is a different beast, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm going, are we all looking at the greatness of the money behind everything and forgetting that this kid needs to have a career? He's a kid. He needs to have a career. He needs to have a future. Or are we doing that thing where there's a star in the country, you send him to Israel? You know, we've had people go to Israel. We send him to Serbia. We send him to MLS. We send them all over the place. And in 2-3 years, they're back because nobody actually sat down and planned. So hopefully, we're overlooking what has been done for Mbogazi. Maybe there's been people that have been speaking about this. Maybe. I don't know. And maybe they've had a plan. But I'm going to move on now, guys. I will open up again towards the end. We're going to go into the Sundowns panel now. We're going to speak about Mamelodi Sundowns and the game that they played. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 30 minutes of Sundowns. We're going to have 30 minutes of Chiefs. Then in the last 30 minutes, I'm going to let everybody come in for 2 minutes to just tell me what they're thinking about whatever it is we're going to be speaking about there. So guys, please, if you're requesting now, you are requesting to speak about Mamelodi Sundowns, then we're going to speak about Chiefs after this. So Masandawana, while we get the Masandawana in line, Sundowns played St. Eloi Lupopo. 3-1 was the win. Sundowns had 20 shots on target versus 20 shots. Lupopo had 9. They had 4 on target versus the 2 of Lupopo. Then, of course, there were 2 big chances scored and 2 big chances missed from Mamelodi Sundowns. And then Lupopo had 1 big chance, which they converted for the 3-1. Agent, I'm going to start with you. Please let me know what you think about the game.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Uti. There's a player called Mesut Ozil. I remember him saying, when we win, I'm a German citizen, but when we lose, I'm a Turkish immigrant.
Yeah.
I think when we win, the players are doing it themselves. When we win, we are playing piano and shoe shine. When we lose, Cardoso is a plumber. When we lose, we're not playing piano and shoe shine. You know? So, when we win, oh, Resinho, Miguel, what a signing. When we lose, Beck is destroying Sundowns with this European rejects. You know, that's a life of a football fan. Um,
Okay.
just I can tell you, just a week ago, I was defending Resinho because people are saying, no, Santos is C, but Resinho, you cow that one, you know. So it's an interesting thing, and another interesting thing is people are saying we like plan B, but when you try plan B, we are playing without a soul, you know. But we are not there. We are not there, Mr. OT. I think good game. I think maybe looking at the starting lineup, maybe, and I want this theory to be tested against a reinforced defense of a younger, for example. You know, I don't know of my Gesi, for example. Maybe Cardoso has finally cracked that code of a low block.
Okay.
Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, because when usually we try to stretch the players with white players, it doesn't work. Where to go through the middle doesn't work. But now when you have Resinho, Santos, Matthews, those that can find that incisive pass, then maybe you have an option. Yeah.
Is it worth sacrificing Boreinas to make that work?
Yeah, because definitely Reynas is a very important aspect of it because he moves around the defenders a lot, you know. And maybe you are sacrificing his goal contribution, you know, but looking at how we've been struggling with low block, and even Arne Slot of Liverpool complains with the low block. So maybe it's worth sacrificing one or two players for it, you know, and also sacrificing a winger because you can see we don't play with the winger. And now imagine if you have Sales, Resinho, Santos, and Matthews. Definitely they can look for what you call it, needle and what, that needle pass.
I'm going to be unfair to you right now. Left-hand side of the defense still seems to be an issue. Right-hand side of your attack all the way at the top sometimes seems to be an issue. Budau, how do you feel about those two areas?
On the left-hand side, hey, it's like how do you call it? Miguel's yellow card. It'll always be there. That's why maybe you understand why Fawaz was brought in, because we expected Fawaz to be a balance between Lunga and Mudiba. But then he hasn't actually performed, and there's rumors that actually might sign another left back. You know, we have tried Suarez there, you know. So I don't know what is it with the left back, because you look at the person that's playing on the left, or Matthews, helps a lot in terms of defensive. So you cannot say that is an issue of the winger. You know, so yeah, I don't know. It's a paradox that I don't know how we'll solve it, but maybe Fawaz Bazadin will solve it for us if he gets the game time and the opportunity. On the left hand side, for Olmo Dawi's prowess defensively, he needs to do better. You know, defensively and offensively. Here, I think was it against Nigeria where he missed a sitter. You know, we could have won that game. You know, and at Sundowns you don't have to play a cross. Play a 45 pass, you know, cut it in, you know. So I think if he can do that, then surely he's going to be one of the most dangerous players this season. Looking at the fact that we don't play a left winger, so I think he can have more assists than usual. Yeah.
Lastly, credit to Mkhulise. Came in as a six. Is that his position? Is that his position?
The eternal youngster. Mr. Oti, I think on that one, maybe we found what is good for Mkhulise. Maybe he'll not be your starter. Maybe he'll be someone when you want to just keep the ball and wind down the time. Maybe that's him for you, you know? Because one thing about Mkhulise that people forget, I always tell people that, and I don't forget easily, unfortunately. Mkhulise, he has always been like that. He'll have this kind of performance. Give him 2-3 games, he'll disappoint you. That's why each and every coach, from Pitso to co-coaches, to Rulani, to Mangoba, to even Cardoso, they always have a way to bench him. Because remember, he was a starter under Cardoso until Adams came in and he dropped him. Because he's not consistent. That's my only problem with him. But when you want to give an example of a true professional, that is him, you know. Even if he doesn't play games, even if he doesn't do a lot of things, when we give him an opportunity, usually he will pitch up like this. Thank you, Mr. T. I have to go.
Let's cut. I don't like Mkhulise. Let me go to Stavo. Welcome. How are you?
How some like, how much like, but yeah,
Aye.
chicks, I'm good, I'm great.
Stavo, tell me about this game. How did you feel about it?
Nice game, nice game, free flowing game, balanced game, dominant game. creative game, you know. Those are just the words, if I'm leaving some behind to describe this game. You know, it was a good game. It was a good game for my team. Good starting 11, excellent starting 11. In fact, you know, excellent starting 11. We're looking at that game. Coach approaches it with 4 midfielders, and you're asking yourself the questions. Okay, fine. In terms of the balance, how is it gonna work? And they make it work perfectly. You know, they make it work perfectly. And we've been speaking of such. Mamelodi Sundowns. That fine. You have your typical three, whereby you have sales, whoever will be playing right wing, maybe Litako. Also, you have a Reyners, you have a Matthews in your front three. When those players are short for creativity, at times also you find the number 10 will be struggling to find those players or will be struggling to get the goals. But how incredible is it when you have your midfielders being aggressive in attack? Your midfielders are being aggressive in attack. We always cry about Allen, they're not making box entries. It's not aggressive on the press. It's not putting a foot in when trying to recover the ball. I was doing exactly that, you know, in that game. Was aggressive off the ball. Was aggressive, you know, making entries inside the box or joining in on the attack. You know, same with Nuno. He was being aggressive. Hence why you see the goals coming in from Nuno rather than your Matthews or your Reynases, because now those two players, them tucking in, sort of playing as those two strikers, they're sort of making space or room for your Nunos to come in, get the goals, and which is a good, nice thing to see. Nice thing to see versatility in terms of the attack and our midfielders mostly contributing to goals. Also, sales coming on, similar thing. You know, it does the job for you.
So
Yeah.
what does your midfield look like? If bengithi
Hayi, that
Gustavo
one.
kumele khethe midfield, because khona bo Sales, khona bo Adams, khona bo Tebza, khona bo Obasi. If I was to say make your starting lineup, what would you say?
Yeah, my midfield is that 4 exactly. Or yeah, however you wanna put it. Those 4 players, you play them, you start them. I think they give you the perfect balance. You know, in terms of also a rotation within among themselves. You know, you see Nuno operating in a free rolling because you have Waisinho operating on the 10 on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, that's my perfect midfield for me, which makes sense. Then Sales, I don't agree with having Sales as your starter because he's more of an impact player, and you need an impact player, an outlet, someone who
Yeah.
contributes to goals, output player also off the bench. Then when you start with Sales, we've seen Coach Cardoso starting with Sales, and how did it look when you looked at the bench? You were like, there's no one who's gonna come in and bring in the goal, and that was happening exactly. Pomasego, your Adams, your Kulises, whoever was coming off the bench, they had no goal in them. But with the Sales, you know there's a goal in them, and it gives you a different element, which is good to see. You know, start that 4. They give you the balance in terms of ball retention also. Hence why you see the dominance, and that's why you see the difference between our players and those European guys in terms of them receiving the ball. It's just crazy.
Very quickly, will it work versus stronger teams?
Yeah, I think it will work. I think it will work. You're looking at when Ilupopo started to get aggressive, more fouls towards side the Sundowns. The players know how to protect the ball, right? In terms of how they rotated the ball, and they rotated the ball with the thought of going forward. There's a chance whereby Ununo, I think, skied the ball. Look at the combination play there and how they played around the Lupopo players, and quickly it was an attack. You know, incredible play from them. But it will work against stronger oppositions, and we are yet to see it. Hopefully, we'll see it. Whether we'll see it in our group or we'll see it in the knockout rounds, because you saw you have Abu Khanye, your Pyramids, your Al Alis, Abu Yanga, AS FAR, performing according to how they're supposed to perform. So it's going to be tough in the knockout stages. But in our group, so far so good. Bigger test, MCLJ. Let's see.
For time about the champion staff, Stavo acting humble. Get bonus, Stavo. Let me go to Vuyo. Vuyo, welcome. How are you?
Sanibona ninjani bhuti sibonga ithuba.
Simnandi, stress samsieza, but it's okay. Vuyo, 3-1, Sundowns, Lupopo. How did you feel about the game?
Ngijabulile kakhulu ukubona ucoach nama-players ne-technical team basebenzisa indlela ezinye ze-attack ngendlela e-different. Uma ubheka amagoli indlela akorwe ngayo, indlela engajwayelanga e-South Africa actually kubona some of the move enzeka. Sikujwayele ukubona emacimbini overseas, ubona ama-player moving outside the box, entering i-box, ahamba score. It's nice. It's something okumele bayi-practice more often. Because of uma ungabheka i-history yale team i-Sundowns, sihlala sikhala ngama-team apaka ibhasi, ama-team ayakhona ukupaka ibhasi the whole 90 minutes ungakhona ukukora. Kufuna ube ney'ndlela zokuthi ukwazi ukukora. And yizo izinto lezi ebengikhala ngazo isikhathini esedlulile ukuthi asizibone emacembini kuwo onke amacembu e-PSL. Ngikubone ngobheni emakhadi lapho khona kumaZulu bekazama uku-overloada iside eliyi-1 akwazi ukuthi okay, namhlanje ngizongena nge-right back, namhlanje ngizongena nge-left back. Uzo-eda inamba yama-players kulelo side lelo, akhona uku-expose lelo side lelo. Kuzoba na 3 wama-player atheka lela side lelo until mawubona u-Sales amuva aya kulela side le-left ezu-number 10 assista lapha u-Matthews. It creates something because of the number of the players around. It creates opportunity to score. It's something ezenziwa ku-pyramid lesi. They developed ama-side, i-left winger or i-right winger yabo so that they can get those crosses. Ban-expose so that kube 3 versus 1. So it's easy. They just pass the ball. There's no need to dribble or what, and then they get that cross, and then it's a goal. So it's something right.
Manje vuyo masisikhuluma ngoku-overloada. On the left hand side uMudiba maka-overloada kuba nembowo lapha emuva. Umbundawo maka-overloada makafika la ku-final third, he doesn't want to cross the ball. In fact, the one time la afaka ibhola khona Sundowns scores. Do you think that i-Sundowns ngayenza leyo nto with Mudawu noMudiba?
Yeah, bangakwazi ukwenza lokho. Le ndlela bakwazi ukumuva ngayo mabaya phambili OT. Actually uModiba I think yinto yenza ukuthi adlale ku-Sundowns. More comfortable nebhola makaya phambili umjida. And kune pass ayikhiphile kule game mongathi yabheka. And then leya pass leya azange yasebenza bayiblokile, but it was a good pass. Very good pass. And nayo umdawe manga practice lezi zinto lezo uyakhumbula even ku-national team azana eNigeria. He missed an opportunity enye emnandi kakhulu bekakhathe in nebhola. So izinto ongazipractice as a player and izinto lezi ongamature ngazo and izinto lezi ongakwazi ukuzifunda. Izinto is part of football. Ama-player amature, ama-player ayazifunda lezi because they always have a room ukuthi as a player ungafunda each and every time and ungalena ngama-mistakes wakho wa previous. Izinto ongazifunda. Look at igoli elikolwe umdlalo Kaizer Chiefs right back.
Sifunda sina 28 29.
Yeah, OT ungalungisa mfethu. It's not too late. It's not too late. Yeah, I'm telling you my bro, because of esinye isikhathi is just nje uku-observe kancane ukuthi ubani ongilandelayo. Lo muntu lo ngamdlulisa kanjani. Let me cut in and then uyamdlula kanjalo. And I think umdawe nomrena there's something engekho balance kibo boyi-2. Lo munye umnandi kakhulu ngemarking yakhe. Lo munye umnandi kakhulu going forward. So izinto lezi zenza ukuthi le team ibalance. But I'm very very happy about the coach and the technical team ngendlela abakore ngayo indlela engajwayelekanga, and I hope ukuthi kuzoba more going forward, and then nomkhulisi play very very well. And thank you to each and everyone, ama supporters, and for the love that you always give us a opportunity OT. Sihleze sikusupport whatever lapho khona sihleze sikumamela, siyabonga bhuti.
Thank you Vuyo. Let me bring in Preston. Preston, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good, my good brother. I'm very, very, very good. I'm very good and happy. Man, let me start by acknowledging you, Mr. OT. I've been following you from the beginning when you were doing ama videos lapha we YouTube. And then I think I must give you your flowers, because I think you are the only football analyst who's been consistent and then objective about analyzing lento le esithanda kakhulu ifootball. Yeah, I haven't picked up any biasness from you. Hence, yeah. So hence I give you a very much a big respect for you. So I respect you a lot. And then and to acknowledge futhi ama lento fellow members wami uGustavo no Koke, they represented us very 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 well, especially in the other line, podcast there. Yeah, but I'm a fans with. I agree. So guys, just keep doing what you are doing. But anyway, Big George, when you are a good man, let me go. Let me come to the Saturday's game. At last, George, somebody is acknowledging what Sundowns has done over the weekend. I think the good thing about what we have done, especially considering that it was our farewell, like it was our farewell to Loftus. Maybe if I can put it that way, because it was our last game. Yeah, 2025 la Loftus, and then we represented it very very well. It's unfortunate we have this illness of coming late, especially Sundowns, but eventually I was happy about the turnout too, and then coming to Ireland, coming to a technical team here too. I think technical team here too, they have improved. Sometimes we must give credit where it is true. I think they have improved because from the onset, like from the first whistle, our team was was playing the Sundowns way. It's unfortunate. Maybe they took off the foot of the pedal. Maybe during after 25 minutes, they were. Yeah, I think maybe they took off the pedal, but coming back on the second half, we saw what maybe technical team maybe like said to them, because the second half we saw a different team. I was happy ngama combination aga Rosinho da crying aga Rosinho no Nuno no Long, but no Allende. I was happy about them. Yeah, I was happy ngale combination yabo and give credit to Ununo. Yeah, I think usiphakamisile isandla. And then when Mr. George, I think bafowethu la Champions League. I hear people, they are a little bit skeptical about maybe like we were not playing the strongest of teams. Mina, I'm going to see it in a different way with him. I think it is the work done, like from the technical team, maybe a team, even at maybe it's weaker than Sundowns, because we have been seeing this over the years. Because I've been advocating for this. If teams are that strong, let them play an open game, low block, especially against Sundowns, or let them come pound to pound. So it shows with the technical team, there is something good that are doing together with the players. And then umta ungizwile uvuyo khona manje akhuluma ngale bathini combination yaka lo uthi umtawu no, like difference yaka umtawu no Mudiwa, our wingers. I think Umdao has improved immensely, tremendously, immensely. I think his level now is very, 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 very matured, because he can go up and also come back and defend. Something that I think Aubrey since Aubrey is very good, especially offensively, but defensively unogu lento. And then another thing, maybe one big George, any pick up it is maybe the communication between Cupido no Aubrey. There was a breakup of communication somehow. But overall, I'm very happy. The way Sundowns is playing, especially in a Champions League game. Like they showed their season players, they are international players. I saw Ushuti, the technical team here to keep up the way Baba is in a corner, and then and congratulate everybody to like we Sundowns family. Like let's keep supporting each other. Nyabonga Big George.
Okay, no, thank you, President. Thank you for the kind words too. Yellow Black Sheep, welcome.
Hola shapo kunjani Brauti?
Man ngimnandi mashe mina zami ziyaqala manje mathe ngiqeda lana, but it's okay. Yellow Black Sheep uthini ngegame yenu? Esanta.
No man, I'm so ecstatic, yabona ngijabule kakhulu mawala. You know, they have displayed this weekend, man. It was exceptional. And like I was blown away. The way Sundowns played, man. I hear many people they're impressed with second half, but me even first half I was impressed. It's just that we missed those two chances of a header of Matthews and that one of Reynas. But the way we played like Sundowns way, from the back, the middle field, and the forwards. You know, Sundowns was present. I was impressed with Cardoso. And me, I know that Cardoso can play Shushan and piano. It's just that he blow hot and cold. This time he's playing it, this next time he's not. But I do understand it because sometimes we need variety because even the opponents are not coming the same. So we need to plan according. So the other thing that I like about him, he is able to unpack the low block. You know, even Orlando Pirates, when we play them, they block the path, but he managed to score a goal. Each and every team that plays a low block, he managed to score against it. That's what impressed me about him. And he doesn't complain about low block. Rather, he compliments the coaches who are playing low block because he understands the lot of work that they put in order to play that way, to defend Sundowns. It's not easy to play Sundowns. The fans are not fearing Sundowns, but the players and the coaches, they fear Sundowns.
Can I ask you something, Yellow Black Sheep?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's Cardoso improving, or is it Cardoso playing his guys? Because he's changed, he's brought in Bocupido, he's brought in now Resinho, he's brought in Santos. He tends to like playing Kemang Sales. Do you think that it's him now playing his guys, number one? And then number two, do you think Sundowns would be more successful if Cardoso was allowed to change the team for him, his style of play?
According to me, I like to answer you this way. I think Cardoso was going to be more successful if these players arrived early. So now they arrived during the season. And if you can check again, Sundowns have 2 weeks pre-season. So it was not enough. And you can see that this international break, it does help him in order to integrate these players in his preseason and again to make them to understand one another, because you need to understand that the players need to have a telepathy. They need to understand one another. They need to know when this one is running this way, where should I put the pass? Or when I'm turning this way, if I can pass there, I know who's going to be there. You understand? That's what I think he lacked time to work on. But these international breaks, they are helping him to work over those things, understanding of the players, the fitness of the players, and the telepathy of the players, which I think it is coming all right because it's getting there. If you can check that pass that did by Motaung, every Matthew's 10, because he knows if I can put it there, who's going to be there. Matthew's 10, and Matthew's once he 10, he just made a pass back to Nunos. Nunos knows where Allende will be. So it tells you about the understanding and the telepathy. And then you look at goal number 1, when Reshino 10, he knows where Nunes is going to be, because now there is an understanding. They are developing in what they are doing. Look at even the third goal when Matthews was coming, and then Atta says give him the ball, and when Matthews go that side, Atta says open again, and then he knows where Atta says is, and Atta says when he turn, just making that pass with the cross, he knows there is a player who's going to be there, because now there is an understanding. There is a fluidity among the players. And then I like to say, to add over, I hear it is Gustavo or it is Vuyo who was talking about Modiba. I so pray and wish, I so wish that Modiba shouldn't play against Rulani, because Rulani will exploit us in that position. He will put us in disarray. I wish we can play Fawas Pasadine, because Rulani doesn't know Fawas Pasadine. I wish my 4 and 5 can be Cupido and Khoza, because he doesn't know Khoza, he doesn't know Cupido. Modawi is fine, no matter he can know him, I know he can stand. And then in the midfield and balance, Mokwena and Allende and Rashino, he doesn't know him. Nunes, he doesn't know him. Reynas, he doesn't know him. Matthews, he does. So we got players that he doesn't know. So we can put those he knows, second half, Tembazwanis and whatsoever, to confuse him more. Thank you for your time, sir.
For time, I want to jump in. No, we'll discuss MC Alger as we go along. Remember, guys, what I said, the last 30 minutes, I'm going to open it up. Rista ngiyakubona lapha kuma comments. The last 30 minutes, anybody will be able to come in. I'll give you 2 minutes to just tell me what you're thinking for the rest of it. Right now, we're about to get into the stress. Oh, Nkosi yami sangene stressing.
I don't know what is going on with Chiefs. Since I've only started supporting Chiefs in 2023 because that's the first time I watched the PSL game.
Is there anything you want to say to the Kaizer Chiefs management?
I'm not sure, but I don't expect much from Chiefs this season.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Chiefs players need to train every day. They need to get more training. And stop acting like they're sleeping. I think that's it.
Stop acting like they're sleepy, guys. Please remember, if you're requesting right now, we're going to be speaking about Chiefs' game. The 2-1 game the Chiefs played versus Al Masri. A game where Al Masri had 11 shots, 5 on target. Chiefs had 10 shots, 4 on target. But Al Masri had one big chance that they converted, plus a penalty. And then of Chiefs did not have any big chances and did not convert any of the big chances themselves, outside of Solomon scoring that goal that was improbable. It going in. So guys, please remember, we're going to be speaking Chiefs right now. We're speaking Chiefs, and then in the last 30 minutes, I'm going to keep it open, and everybody will be able to jump in and tell me whether you want to speak about the Mbogazi situation, you want to speak about Sundowns, you want to speak about Chiefs. We go there. Don't forget to tap the screen, and don't forget to like. Then we're going to go there. So guys, remember, if you're still here, Rista, guys, if you're still here, it's for Chiefs. But yeah, so let's get into the Chiefs panel right now. Then we're going to end off with an open panel at the end where we'll be able to speak about whatever you guys maybe wanted to touch on from the previous panels. Bongs!
Yes, OT.
Hey, Bongs, Bongs. And then we're now low energy.
No, it's not low energy. It's accepting that we were defeated yesterday.
What happened in the game, Bongs?
Simple. Someone was playing Street Fighter, ababeta a move and a satlamengo bitua. So they got their second goal.
Oh, Bongs. Is that all that happened? Didn't they play well, Chiefs, at some point?
Chiefs only played well once they made their changes. So for them to get that goal, that equalizing goal. But the problem was still in the center. Where I've always complained about the center, that the center backs are not good enough, especially Miguel. Miguel makes mistakes. He's the reason right now we lost 2-1. Because he miskicked a ball, which he could have cleared, and he could have taken a point. But he decided, no, he would miskick it, and then Al Mazri got their goal. It's not like Al Mazri was a strong team. Chiefs could have won if they played better.
Yeah.
Some of the players were not even showing agency in the game. It only happened when we made a few changes that we played a lot better.
What do you think about the quality? What do you think about the quality of this tournament, or at the very least, the quality you've seen with Al Masri? Does it give you hope that maybe Chiefs can do something going forward? Maybe they can learn because the teams don't look very strong?
It depends if Chiefs want to progress in this tournament. Because now, their next game is going to be a bit tougher. They should have just tried to get a draw for this one and maybe try and get a 1-0 win in the next game. But now, it's getting a little bit tougher for Kaizer Chiefs to progress in this tournament. Because now, they started on a low note by losing to a team that was a bit easy. And it's very strange to see this team have players that play for Egypt, but they were playing poorly in this game. So
Bongs,
for me, OT,
yeah, go on, sorry.
I just want to know, since they have these Egyptian players in their team that play for the national team, does that mean Egypt would be easy for Bafana to win?
No. Maybe, but don't forget, Banalebo Salakwa. But Bongs, I want to ask you, tell me about your midfield. How do you feel about the Cele Mthethwa Shabalala midfield?
They need to rethink their midfield. I prefer Shabalala this season playing with Velebai and Obrigado. Because when they are together, at least something is happening, some positivity is happening. With Ox, it's always back passes. And with Kele, I'm not seeing the Kele that came in when we first brought Kele last time when he came to the team. His standard has dropped.
Okay. What kills the players, Coach Chiefs? What kills the players? Because you could say the same thing about Sereno, you could say the same thing about Dolly, you could say the same thing about Billiard, you could say the same thing about a ton of different players. What is it about Chiefs that the players arrive, first few games they're on fire, and then after that are sababon?
I'd say we as fans, especially someone like me, we like bashing our players too much. For example, like yesterday, I was so bashing on Modi because Modi was playing bad. So this kills confidence at the players.
Yeah.
We are always bashing them as fans. We are not giving them a chance and trying to tell them, try harder, play better. But we are always shouting, we don't want you, we don't want you, we don't want you. Especially me, OT, I'm always shouting. You know, I always shout at Modi all the time. Even yesterday, I said I could throw a TV at Modi because Modi was playing bad. I'm the reason also that Chiefs is playing bad as a fan. I'm the reason Chiefs plays bad at times because I like bashing at Chiefs. So we as fans, we play a big role in making Chiefs play bad because we bash our players.
Okay, Bongs, for time I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Ukoke. Koke, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ola OT ngiyabingelela kuwe nabantu abalalele man. Danko.
Hey, yes, I Egypt, Koke. Chiefs are Egypt, Ashaiwa 2-1. You want to game?
OT i-Chiefs la ikhona manje. I think ukuthi ama-fan Chiefs they are being too hard on themselves. At this point, the Chiefs for me they're in the right direction. They are building kahle, you know. I feel ukuthi they should take away the mindset of the Chiefs in the early 2000s, the Chiefs in the 90s, the Chiefs in the 70s. It's different. Accept that things have changed. We was fresh, and then we are in the right path. Okay, for Bona being in the competition, the CAF Conference Cup, for me, I think it should be taking motivation than trying to win the competition. To say we are in this competition, sidlala more games, siboosta immoral and confidence amachita because mabadlala domestically, mabaluza ama games into zingahambi kahle bangathi ayikho into right enzakalayo. But the more games bazwina, baya deeper into the competition, maybe make it out of the group stages, izobuyisa ithembe ebantwini and izobonisa abantu ukuthi i-Chiefs is a direction right. So for me, I would say they must not be too hard on themselves. Ispine sikhona ku Chiefs. Ukhona uPeterson, ukhona uAdams, ukhona uKwinika, ukhona uOx, ukhona uEquador. Leso spine leso, I think is so that Chiefs sibeke la Chiefs ifuna kuya and let others join in because more leso spine leso Chiefs ya perform kahle adlala ibhola kahle. But we must also keep in mind ukuthi lama player lawa awana even 20 games badlala bonke leso spine. So let the spine sihlangane kahle badlale kaso and then bazobona bona phambili ukuthi kwenzakalani. For me, I think ukuthi i-Chiefs idlale kahle in terms of mangibheka i-team badlala against yona i-Maris la team yase Egypt. La team leyana, if i-Chiefs was really bad, Chiefs was supposed to be destroyed. I'm talking about a team edlale i-draw with the mighty pyramids, 2-2 draw. A team edlale i-draw ne-Al Ahly. teams that are in the conversation of taking a CAF Champions League. So ichieve ngokuthi ishawe 2-1. I think for me nabakwazile ukuziprotect in a sense of they were gonna be embarrassed there, to be honest. They deserve ukuthi bathole enye induku. Le team le ayidlali uthi. But the way badlale ngakhona for me, I'll take a loss as a Chiefs. If mina ngifune Chiefs, I'll take a 2-1 loss against the team efana naleya. Ngiyabonga.
But then you're still gonna go face Zesco. You're still gonna go face Zamalek. You saw in the Zamalek Zesco game, Zesco was playing a very deep low block. Zamalek looks strong. Can we make it out of the group having performed like this? Do you think the home form will change anything here?
Yeah, I wanna OT Lana. The trick is to make sure we home at least. But is something, a draw, a point. We team there. And then against Zamalek, I think that's where Chiefs can steal a win for me against Zamalek. Knowing what Zamalek Zamalek is strong right now. Zamalek has lost a lot of good players. I'm a player I said with Zamalek battle. So that's where they can steal something. And then Zesco. So I think what the Chiefs can make it to number 2 via Zamalek Nezesco, and then try to get a point in Yana at home from their team they are badlala. So their team they are here team in Engibona with the group in outright. I'm a favorite to make it out.
Very quickly, Miguel.
My mistake I enzagala OT, you know. Miguel for me I don't understand why was he in the team from the word go. Because Mugmele, as I said, Ukwinika, no Adams Uban, the other guy, Onukala no Kwinika Lapaya.
Aiden McCarthy.
Aiden, and Bison Adams, paid them 50 Sundowns. Aiden. Yeah, so I think Laba by Chuba solid. Aiden is more solid. I think if it was an Adams in that situation or a Kwinika, that ball was gonna be dealt with even far better. I think even no Peterson, Yampenikisa. Indaba Miguel Magno Miguel no Peterson ingathi nebana kasiboni kahle, but is very comfortable ngalaba bayi2 because even the communication abisi amagame abadlalayo uAiden no Kwinika plus no Peterson uyabona ukuthi it's fluent, it is flu even noma badlala ama back pass uPeterson comfortable, but Miguel you'll never know, man, you'll never know.
Okay. Hey, will I regret this, Sharon? Welcome.
Hey, Ochi, am I audible?
You're audible, sir. Sir, tell me about this game, man.
This game was something else. Especially the first half, the first half was really, really disappointing. Because you find the players, they get to the box, but they don't know what happens when they get to the box. To the other team's box, it was just chaotic. And also, with Miguel, yes, it was a mistake, but with Miguel, you have to know as long as he plays, he gets booked. Angazi why that always happens. I don't know why that always happens. But well, when the lineup did come out yesterday, I knew because like I said, I will keep on saying this, a combination ekacele nomthethwa, no, they don't work well together. Mthethwa and Ngobo, yes, that's perfect. That's perfect because what Ox does, right? He is we are destroyer. He takes the balls from others, but then now when he does that, ucele, he is nowhere to be found. Ukuthi athathe ibhola from umthethwa. Ngobo knows how to ngathi Mthethwa is not that good of a passer and all that, but Ngobo knows his weakness. That's why he's always around him each and every time. That's why you see with the combination here, it's good because it does its job of taking the ball from the other team so well. And then also yesterday I didn't understand why did Dupree start. Dupree for me, Dupree and Modi, nah. And then the second half when Vilakazi and Omabo came in, one way difference and all that, but hey, we're still struggling. I mean, Al Masri, you know, they capitalized also on the mistake. Miguel, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereby he
Even
kicked
for the
there.
penalty.
So, yeah, you know, that's as to what was happening there.
So is there hope? Can Chiefs do well? Can they rebound versus Zamalek? Can they rebound versus Zesco? Is it a learning curve where they're going to learn something, or you're going to see the same thing?
My worry is Zamalek because they played a draw yesterday, yeah? So when we meet, I think they're going to come out guns blazing. So I don't know. I don't know how that is going to work because let's just wait and see, guys. But asaziyo sizoba September.
Sharon, what I want to ask you, what do you think of Mdu?
Mdu, he tends to, what can I say? Mdu is good, but the problem is that he tries to be so fancy, you know? He tries to be fancy. That's the problem. Just play the ball, man. Just pass the ball to others. Just and then we go and score, you know? You should just minimize trying to be fancy and all that. And play ball, you know? Yeah.
Okay,
and also Peterson for us.
Yes.
For us, he's good to Peterson. Peterson is really, he's really raising his hand.
Should he be with Bafana right now? Do you think he should be with Bafana?
Yeah, I do really think so. Yeah.
Okay. Sharon, for time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me go to Yellow Black Sheep. Yellow Black Sheep. I'll with team man.
Hey, oh, bro, OT, you know your team. I watched it yesterday, and you know, when I watched your team yesterday, I was relaxed because I wanted to see certain things. And I hear many people are complaining, you see, but the ideas, it seems as if they didn't get it, and many people are complaining. The thing is, the people say Kaizer Chiefs should have stick to defending.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, when Kaizer Chiefs started the game, they played a pragmatic game.
Yeah.
And then when Chiefs played that pragmatic game with the experienced players, because the only young players I think who started the game was Mtutus, then many people are saying the first half was boring. There was no game there. But Kaizer Chiefs tried to manage the game and to study the opposition. By the time basafunda labantu, bebayenza sure ukuthi aba concede because they had the players. Second half, when they saw okay, now they have scored and we see where we can head them.
Yeah.
They started to introduce Abo Vilakazi, Novelapai. The game started to play. And then I hear the ladies crying about Cele. But me, I want to tell you guys, I hear many people, they say, Cele, guys, it's a very good player. I prefer Cele and that guy, which one, that one he called and says, no, not Mtetwa. And with Ngob, I prefer Cele and Ngobo in the middle field, me. Because I know when the back line got the ball, Cele is easy for him to play it and progresses to the number 12 of Kaizer Chiefs. So it's easy for Kaizer Chiefs to play on. But when it is Mtetwa, whenever the team try to play the ball at the back, there is a little bit misunderstanding. Once the ball gets to Mtetwa, he get lost. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. But when Cele is there, he knows what to do and how to progress the ball. So I think they should play Cele and number 12. And then I move on. I watched Vilakazi when he played for under 20. Yeah. He was very good. He was very good when he plays number 10. Yes, he was very good at 10. But the Chiefs, they want him to play at wing. And I see they are making vice versa because I see a player like Vilakazi. It's a person who used to to watch Tembazwane when he grew up. That's why he's so good in number 10. And then when I look at Mtutuzi is a player to me, when I watch him every day, is somebody who look like to me, he's watching Vinicius Jr. He is good when he come from the wing, cutting inside. That's where he is good. Now they are playing him out of the position. They want him to be a 10. And then it confuses him every time. That is why many people, they say he is not passy. But look at him when he come from the wing. Look at the passes and the scoring chance that he makes or score the goal. So now I think these two players are being played in the wrong position in the first point. You know? And then again, I was surprised.
Before we move on there, do you think that as South Africans, we want a 10 so bad that we'll force Shabalala to be there, we'll force Relay to play there? What is this thing with us as South Africans, which is 10 to 10?
No, Ingati, we are not good in identifying the players who should be playing that position. Same applies to Pirates. I can say Mufokeng is good as a wing, and then Apolis is good as a 10. But they want to play Apolis as a wing, and then Mufokeng as a 10. It's a vice versa. And then at Chiefs, I think I hear somebody in a comment and say Vinicius is good. He never started as good as he is. He went on and become good as he is now. But even Mtutuzi, he can get there because I see he idolize him, he watch him. You can see when the player like to play like somebody and want to do things that he's doing. And he's understanding him very well. But now the problem is they are confusing him. They are playing him out of the position. Maybe this because they wanted to accommodate somebody, but Mtutuzi is good on the wing. And then what I wanted to say is that I think even the player, the personnel who's training the players at Chiefs, I don't think he's doing justice. Is he training the players to the full maximum of the players? Because the players of Kaizer Chiefs, they seems lethargic. They seems like they, I don't understand them. They are not yet fit as the way they're supposed to be. They are not yet challenging the game with the same stamina. In certain times, you can see the gauge of players of Kaizer Chiefs, they are getting tired. So that's where I think he's not training the players according. Maybe they should find a new trainer to come and train the players, because it's been a long problem for Kaizer Chiefs long time ago. And then I want to say, guys, I'm impressed with Kaizer Chiefs. I'm impressed with Kaizer Chiefs, even though they've lost. But I'm impressed because you can see even the goal that they considered, it was in a latter stage, in the critical phases of the game. But they managed and they played very well, and it was their first continental away game. So if you can take that game in consideration, then you will see that Kaizer Chiefs is improving game by game. They will get there in no time. Don't rush, guys.
For time I want to jump in, guys. Kitimiaka. So, Lena, I wanted to have a say before we go into the open section of the show. Here's my worry about Chiefs. My worry about Chiefs is that they're repeating a lot of the same mistakes that got us into problems last season. And the thing about CAF is that CAF, it's not necessarily about how good you're playing. It's just about how many mistakes you're going to make. And yesterday, the only difference really between Chiefs and Al Masry was that Chiefs made more mistakes than Al Masry. Miguel has to work on his positioning and his communication, because most of the problems that Chiefs has is because Solomons is pushed up. Miguel wants to jump into the midfield. Miguel, and he leaves the other two in a tough space. There was a chance where Al Masry played up the left-hand side. They got into the left-hand side of our box. Then they played a ball across. And Ukwinika, no Mikel was standing like this inside the box. The ball was coming this side. They were standing like this. And Bradley Cross had to come in from the other side to make a tackle. That is a lot of what you see, is that sometimes it's just the communication. When you look at the penalty, Miguel is gone. Ntetwa has to go chase the guy. He has to go chase the guy back in. And because he's coming from midfield, he's always going to be behind. Right? So these are things that I feel at this point, Chiefs should have fixed. They should have made sure that they know how to handle themselves in this situation. Let me tell you about the Mtetwa and Cele situation. Cele is not bad. Do you know what the problem is? The problem is we don't have a 10. So oftentimes our 8 has to now cover the 10 position. So now that guy is here, he's running in because Umdule, for example. And this is not new. Again, I'm going to speak about this and say that these problems at Kaizer Chiefs are not new. The Miguel problem is the same exact problem we used to have when we had Caruso and Matoho. Caruso would jump out, he'd leave Matoho. Because Matoho is slow, he can't come across, right? The midfield, these are the same things we were complaining about when we were speaking about Mart. To say that Mart is he an 8, is he a 10, is he a 6? And now what tends to happen is that because this one Ucele now wants to go play in the 10 spot, Umtetwa always gets the ball alone. And we know that Umtetwa doesn't play the ball. He's very bad at losing the ball from that position. But because Ucele sekangenela pa ku-8 na ku-10, right, anticipating the attack because we don't have a 10, we have the same problem we had with Mart. Also, on top of that, you take your 10. What happens with our 10s? Our 10s are always on the wing. Think about Cirino. You always find him on the right. You always find him at the top, right? You think about Dolly. Dolly was always found on the right wing, playing on the right wing, running on the right wing. So this is a Chiefs thing, I think, that is a bit of an issue. When you speak about the front line, I don't think the front line understands what their roles are. So when Du goes to the left wing, what is Modi's role when he has to now cover and have that guy on him? In a different team, you overload the left back. So if you look at Pirates, for example, or the right back, if you look at Pirates, for example, they used to do that thing with Mfuke, Ngutito, Nohoto to isolate that right back and make it very tough to play. But you have Du running into that space. Then you have the other one, all of a sudden, Segangale, Awaz Gutufuna Ngale. You have a Dupreez on the pitch. I understand Dupreez is fast. I understand Maskula, the fast guy, would play wing. But there's no point in having Dupreez on the pitch because as fast as he is, you're killing that player because when he gets to the end, to the byline, he doesn't have a cross. He doesn't have a pass back in. That's not what he's been doing for most of his career. Then even if he's fast, because he's covering Solomon's, now you're taking one of your fastest players and he's way behind the defense. So now even when he makes a run, and then he has to run to the defender and past the defender, even if he's going to be dangerous. You look at Igotaro. I think Igotaro is a great player. I think Igotaro is a thinking player. If you've seen some of the runs that he makes. But because our midfield, for some reason, always wants to play out wide, every time they get the ball, the place where they're looking. So if the ball is coming this side, they're going to play the ball this side, right? Instead of turning, instead of playing the ball through. Igotaro makes this run. There's this run that he makes every single time, straight down the middle, where if you had somebody who could just play the ball to him, maybe he scores, maybe he does something, right? But there's too much, there's a lack of structure at Kaizer Chiefs, right? And unfortunately, when you go to CAF games, all of those box entries you have to score the lucky goal that comes from Solomon's going through, they're going to punish the mistakes that you have. The penalty that they got is the exact same movement where Kukune got goals from when they played us, if you remember correctly, earlier this season. Straight down the middle, Miguel's going to jump, somebody's going to be in behind, that person is going to be either score or is going to put whoever has to cover in a very tough spot. Penalties given away. The other things, Hashem, you can't necessarily blame Miguel too much. I mean, a mistake is a mistake, but a mistake at CAF level is always punished. So I think there were a lot of things that just kept creeping up that were the same. These things we've seen before. So I don't know if they're going to change any of that stuff. Even when they made the subs were energy subs. It wasn't a structural change sub, right? We just put in energy, and that energy lasted for 2 minutes, nyana, then it went away because gafana nekijima anindao. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Chiefs does up to this point. I think in the PSL, you get away with some of these things. In the PSL, maybe you score 2 or 3 goals, or maybe you score the 2 goals that takes you over. Maybe you don't concede from the errors you make. But hey, guys, go CAF. Ask Sundowns, ask Pirates, ask Cabo Stellies, ask Cabo Supersport. Money to mistake. Things happen, people score, and then now you find yourself coming home. But guys, this is what I'm going to do for the last 30 minutes here. Last sound. Guys, I was just playing a sound there. Guys, I'm going to let everybody get a minute or two to just tell me whatever you want to speak about from what we spoke about tonight. So there's the Mbogazi issue, there's the Sundowns game, there's the Chiefs game. So feel free to jump in. If you want to respond to somebody, if you want to respond to something somebody said, please, I'm going to give you a minute, 2 minutes max to just tell me what you're thinking. We're going to try to get as many people in here at the end of the show, as many people as we can, so that everybody can get a chance to get their voice in. So I'm going to start with Tshepang. When last?
Agar no rona batho ba Eastern rona di Triple K re dula re le Foslo Stadium re dlala diski jo.
Oya kwa Foslo Tema Stadium ile mona ko complex how.
Mfeta ke re no se ke le Underwoodville United re joine Castle League jo.
No, I hope I will kwa.
No.
O kana ko kae? O batla tsara efe?
I hope dintho tse ke batlang ho di bua they won't take much of the time, but I agree with you 100% in terms of what Chiefs needs. Chiefs needs a structure. However, I think Chiefs is in a good place, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. You know, Chiefs right now, we can simply say they are in the process of rebuilding. And as much as they are rebuilding and trying to get the team right, CAF currently is the right way of going on about it. And I'll tell you why. There is a lot of mistakes that Chiefs make, and this is the time go CAF badilukis and rectify those mistakes and incorporate them into the domestic league. What do I mean by that is that right now, there is a player, Ted. You know that guy was looking at him the whole game yesterday. That guy, Hana I wouldn't say vision. Hana that desire. As for Polo the first time, I shall go pay. Now my belief is how go center. The first thing, Otlamle focus on, go pass her forward. That's the first thing that you okay, there is ball rotation, there is other thing, but that guy will pass up backwards more than passing forward. That is a problem for his position. Number 2, Chiefs in transition. Let's say for an example, they are under attack, they break their attack. Instead of them attacking as quick as possible in those moments because they find their opponents in the half. But center in transition, you know why? It is because when they're in transition, they don't add numbers kapili. That is their problem right there. So you are right. Chiefs in terms of structure, when you are playing CAF, trust you me, how's not structure? Those guys, they are going to punish you. There is a gentleman that said Chiefs physically Jimmy to their full potential. I tend to agree, Hanyan, because if you can look, there was a guy playing for the other team, that opposition against Chiefs. I think he was playing a central midfield, a long guy. Did you see that guy, what he was doing? That guy was bulldozing. That guy, unaitsa the wrong pass, the wrong tripping, mare, immediately Polo I lose. Unaitsa was throwing himself in. So that is one element I think Chiefs needs to correct. Not to say they are not doing it. Chances are they are doing it, but remember our domestic league CAF is 2 different things. But I should think they are in a good space, a lot of things they're going to get right as time goes, because right now they need players currently for me. If you can get a player like Nengomash, a leader in the central middle field, a leader, you need a player who's got a vision, like what Tebogo Mokwena, guy long or switch up ball in transition, along right one correct pass, and long the team in a favorable position when they're in transition. I think Chiefs just needs a few tweaking here and there. These guys are in the right place. I believe that's just my opinion.
Ska wara ke tlo go bona ko Foslo Stadium ke bona hore ntho tse o di buang wa di dlala na. Tako Tsepa. Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, which one are you jumping in on?
All of them, OT. Quick one.
Very quickly, man.
OT, well, yeah, Kala man, Watoma no OT. No OT, I think leave him, Bogazi. Leave the. I'm with Agent on this one. Leave him, let him go, guys. Let the boy go. We don't want him to regret later in his career. When he's writing a book, like about so let the boy go. But even though I would have loved him to stay up until post, the what you call the CAF, the CAF, and I think post that there would have been more deals for him. On the Sundowns one, OT, I was listening to people here saying, we played well. Hey, it was so nice. Great tactician. Go watch that first half. OT, when you analyze football, you look at data, right? The data tells you all the goals as a Sundowns come from the left-hand side or from a corner.
Yeah.
Right? Most of the goals, let me not say all of them, or a cross, right? Most of the goals, they come from look at that number 23, where Lendoka, where Lupopo, who kept coming. Because why? The left-hand side is overloaded by two players against one. And then it forces Cupido to jump out. Right? And then there's a space between Cupido and Kekane. The guy runs behind Kekane or in front of Kekane. And he doesn't have control because he's looking at his post. And he's not looking at the player behind him.
And
he's trying to
chasing
attack
the player.
Exactly. That's how they scored. And yes, they played fantastically in the second half. But watch that second half, that first half. It tells you, Wuti, going forward, Abu Rulani are watching that. They like, they still have this problem. Still now. They haven't sorted. And when I look at this thing, it's not a Modiba problem. Yes, it is a problem. But Ulendugana is to be blamed. The boy who's playing wing. He's not supportive. He's not tracking back to support Ulenduga or Modiba, which forces Jupiter to jump out because there is no support for Modiba. Right? There's a lot I could say when OT about Sundowns. They need to go and get a reparo. You know why? Because that player is confident on the ball, is able to attract two players. It leaves the space. They play in spaces, right? You need a reparo. Those two are not a reparo. And they're saying, no, he found a way to penetrate low block. Let's wait and see. Let's move to Chiefs.
Very quickly, Tyler. Very quickly.
Why Dupree? Why Solomons? Why Modi? Why? OT, you are number 3 in the league. You had a squad that you have been playing with over I don't know how many games. They put you in number 3 and you go to Africa and you change that. Why? Why do you do that? Like, it's mind-boggling. Why do you do that? Why Modi? Modi has been playing for Chiefs for the last season. Go and check his stats. How many goals he has scored for Chiefs? Dupree has been Chiefs for the last season, 5 seasons. How many goals he has scored for Chiefs? Right? Mtetwa doesn't know how to scan. It's a big problem. Yeah? It's a big problem. You know what I would do, Mna? They've got players. That's what excites me about Chiefs this season. They've got nice players. They just need a balance. OT. Put Tele as a 6. Don't play Maboy and Ndlovu, right? As a double 8. You put Chabalala, and then there's that number 99 who's from Congo. I don't know where he's from. And very bad.
Tyler.
OT. We've got a team, OT. Sure, OT, sure.
Time. Mavolo, welcome. How are you?
Ngiyaphila kunjani?
Mangimnandi man Mavolo, ungena kuyiphi?
Hayi ngena kwi-team yami ishizu mina
Khosi.
Ake ngikhulume ngabanye ba-right abanye nguseza kwami mina. No man yazi. Bengibukile igame yayizolo first half. First half was not good, but obvious if udlala ne-team vele nayo ingadlali grand. Leya team bengadlali grand. If uyalibuka ibhola, you'll understand ibhola. That team was not even playing well. Ngizwile nje bethi i-commentator ithi in their team inama-players awu-6 for international team. But abakhombisanga ukuthi banama-players awu-6 adlala kwi-international team kwi-Egypt. It was like i-team ebuya kwi-amateur football nayo nje. Yabona if ubheka amagoli angene kuthina siwaconsider. It was ama-mistake wethu. It's not like leya team beyi-threat kithi. Even that guy labakhuluma ngaye lo bekadlala as a midfielder lo bekamoda shaya igoli ipenalty. Uqala uku-enjoya i-game because of ucele. The problem ngocele mina. Lo muntu uyasaba ukuya 50-50 playing. He's very scared, that guy. And ngiyeza abantu ba-blame umthetho udlale kakhulu because ubeya 50-50 kuma-player. And kumele aba-understand something ama-supporters. If udlala in Africa, iplayer kumele ube physical. Ibe strong like yabona nje look at ulo kunjana lo mfana we-Pirates ulo hambayo lo umbokazi. Ufuna umuntu onjalo strong. And kwi-Chiefs moto uyabheka. Into yabesibulala kule game yesterday izolo. Second half, okay, sesikorileke. Sesinenkinga la at the middle of the park. Donsa umdu because umdu is weak. Uyawa lo muntu akenze next as a 10. Akawenza umsebenzi wakhe. Idakware uzowaphuma ngaze athole even pass man ukuthi awuthi mfethu ngigayele ipass man ushoot goalkeeper ngombona. Idakware uzowaphuma akaze athola even quite pass from do as a 10. Yabona. If yabona as a problem ama coaches, even mina I want to say this. Yabona ama coaches lawa bayahluleka, iyabahlula Chiefs. Sidlale kahle last game baze ngila FNP bengibukile la game. Uvele by and vilakazi babedlala kahle. Wena ulokhu njana sekhathele ulona ucele. Basaba wrong bona. Bawukhipha abantu abadlalayo. Uyabona bangabuza nje ukuthi why bebuyisa uPulemondi and Dupree ku first line up. Balanda abantu out of form. Uyodlala igame important kanjena and siqale kaphi because of ama coaches wethu. Usuzosapha uzofaka abafana under pressure usubheka ukuthi uvilakazi akagaye igame akunise as a coach itwana encane vele and wangena wayishintsha igame. But ulate ukukhipha umntu ufake bani uleboga ngamaboy basho mabembuza umntangu kulo ujuni umntangu ukuthi why besayine uleboga ngamaboy basho bathi bamlethela ukuthi for experience of AFCON yase Federation Club lapha because siyodlala vele eAfrica return. But now they keep playing him late. Yabona
30 seconds.
Uzoyigena kanjani fitness yakhe? Uzoyigena kanjani fitness yakhe umuntu ongamdlalisa igame uleboga ngamaboy because uleboga ngamaboy even if uyambona bakangena 2 touches 3 touches uyabona ukuthi lo muntu une experience uyalazi ibhola. This thing of ubedlalisa lona ubani lomjita lo uMahlo. I don't understand Mahlo ukuthi ungathatha uMahlo a game serious njengo Mahlo. Ushiya like uthi ungcobo man yazi ungcobo sidlalile ngathi azofika ku final sidliwa iAhly under Gavin une experience for Africa ungcobo but ama coaches wethu I think abamthanda ungcobo for mina yabo angiyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you, Koslami. Hey, waza wapodla man. Let me go to Uwawa. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngiyaphila.
Now ungena kuyiphi?
Mina nje I've got few words.
Okay.
Ngifuna ukuthi nje congratulations kumfana wami uMbekezeli Mbokazi. I know ukuthi as Pirate fans we couldn't hold so much talent, you know, we need to ship it overseas.
Okay.
And for him, one day he's going to be grateful because from MLS, there's a lot of people are watching that league, you know. He can move to Europe because this guy, he doesn't deserve to play in South Africa. Mase ngiyahamba ngiyakubafana bakhulu. What a successful hate watch for me on your team. Qinan Khosi man, qinan bafethu. Nathi sike sifile lento enifilayo ukuthi how does it feel when you support another team against the cause, you know? So it's just full pot banter, man. I think the most important thing Amakosi that needs to do, you know, Landu coach Pitso bafethu, swallow your pride. And football is great because you can't go with the coaches that don't have experience with CAF. And honestly, that game yesterday, Vulile Kosi, it was such a disgrace. It was such a disappointment, if I'm being honest, because South African teams need to start understanding, Uti, when you're playing away, you don't play to win. You play to draw.
Yeah.
Everything you must finish at home. Pirate made that mistake. That's why we went out on the semifinals, because we wanted to win. You don't win away. You draw away. You come with a point, you leave with a point. Everything is done at home. I think Kaizer Chiefs needs to start having that mentality. You don't use Velabayi, you don't use Mdu on an away game. You use the strong guys, Silva, the people that can hold the game. Then when they come home, you know what we need to do. I don't want to waste so much time. I know the platform is open. Guys, do better, but what a successful hate watch. Kosi for life.
Amba. Let me bring you Rista, welcome to the show. How are you?
OT, thank you, member. Thank you to the comment section. Hey, OT, I don't know where I start. Oh, let's say congratulations to Mbokazi. I would love to, if I was him, I will take that opportunity, you see. Especially if got a lot of money, I will take it. I won't even think twice, you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it depends to him because, yeah. I don't want to go to Sundowns because it's been years, guys, man. You can't even talk about Sundowns because Sundowns is something that in CAF, it's already paid their school fees. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If you don't understand when I'm talking, if you don't understand when I'm talking about school fee, no, bruh, just forget it. You see, those guys, I will say, understand me what I'm saying. They go play CAF, and then manage emotions.
Yeah.
Get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They go and play football in CAF and then manage emotions. To let me show you what my statement is. In PSL, they go to manage PSL, the games. They don't play PSL. That's the difference. I think you understand my difference now.
Yeah.
I think you understand my difference. In PSL, they don't play football. They just manage the game. In CAF, they already pay the school fees, they play football and manage the emotions. That's what they are doing. And I'm telling you, they will take you somewhere to the final. I can feel. And then even my coach is not go there to coach them how to trap the ball, how to kick the ball, how to pass. They only going there to put a discipline. Oh man, come on. That's the only thing Sundowns doing.
Yeah.
They go there for discipline, respect the opponent, play with intervals. If you don't know me, forget. I don't know what can I say. Sundowns play with intervals when you play in CAF.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
People, they say, no. Look what he did. My coach, look what he did to Mkolisi. He just put Mkolisi there and give him a message. Boy, go and control the ball. Nothing else. Nothing else. As a Sundowns player, Pian and Shushan is on his blood. You don't need to teach them. The only thing they add to my coach, it just add the ball must be fast, move fast. The ball must be very quick to the final third. Nothing. Apart from Rulani, I don't have a problem with Rulani. Rulani is good. His identity, personal identity part. He don't have a person to implement his identity.
Okay.
Understand me? You understand what my point? He don't have a player to implement.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
For time, I'm gonna jump in. We'll speak about Rulani later in the week as we get closer to that game. Let me bring in the Yellow Black Sheep. Yellow Black Sheep, where do you want to go with this?
No, let me just say fast and furious because UKC ucela kunjena uRay la ufuna kunjena for time's sake ithi ngithi fast nje.
Guys.
I think when we go to Mbogazi, now it's a good move. I'm happy for him. All just I wish is just a justice for Mfukeng also to get that move. Let them open the gates for him also. Free the guy, give him his freedom so he can go and play overseas too and make that money also. Because I think there are a lot of things that he want to achieve.
Why are we talking about money, guys? The money is going to be nice for the first 2-3 years. Doesn't he want a career?
Hey, you know, in these days, career doesn't pay bills, man. That's the problem start, you see.
Yeah.
Because you're going to stay here and play and play and play and retire. At the end, you don't have money, you don't have anything, but you go overseas 2 years, 3 years, you come back and finish your career again to the big three. Everything is good, you understand? So I think they should free the guy and go make money and come back because we don't have those players who are lasting anymore in South Africa who are going out. Let him go and make money also and come back, please. Those who last, if he lasts, it's a bonus too. And then over Sundowns, I hear Taylor is still obsessed with Ribeiro. You must forget about Ribeiro. We have moved away from Ribeiro. We got Nuno now. Nuno is doing things and Rashino. So you must understand that even that first half, he says it was bad. It was good. It's just that we missed those 2 goals I was telling you about of Matthews and Reyners. If we scored those goals, many were going to say, yeah, it was a good first half just because we didn't score. So it was bad. And then over Kaizer Chiefs, my last submission, I wish to see the combination of Mtutuzi, Velapai, and Vilakazi and Ecuador. I want to see those goals because I see there is a lot of goals there. Above all, ngiyabonga bafethu ukuba nani, good night.
Thank you, Yellow Black Sheep. Let me go to Koke. Where do you want to jump in?
Ngizongena kule Sundowns OT but ngayithinta kancane la kaMbokazi. Ngithi naye makahamba ayozenzela igama overseas. Abe the second player ebuya la South Africa yokuma ku Messi. Ayosho uMessi manje. Athume naye. Sithi sike sawa neplayer ke la maku Messi. Amakaye ngani. So kule Sundowns OT Sundowns for especially last season we CAF Champions League into yenza ukuthi amanye ama-game abe difficult ukuthi wawin Sundowns kwi-CAF Champions League is because Sundowns could not play from ama-second ball. Ama-opponent ma-defend ibhola, we were not the first ones on the ball, and even if we were the first ones on the ball, we were not good at recycling that ball within that area and then create.
Hey guys, is it me or is it Koke? Koke. Yo, wait, network, Koke, network. We'll see if you can't get him back. Bongs, for the meantime, we kwala kang?
Tle ke ne bikinyana o Sundowns be re kwala ka Mbogazi fela.
Yeah.
No, like I said over the weekend, Totine, Sundowns, even in its worst moment of football, they still find a way to win. Maran tekela kanto one ka Sundowns. Just cross the ball into the box. Don't be like Oxo or Fanaka Bolo, where the back pass. Madau needs to learn to start crossing the ball. Because 2 out of the 3 goals they came from crosses. So if Sundowns can cross the ball more, Bonuno baka score.
Okay.
Yes, Uti.
Okay, Bongs.
All in all, Sundowns, congratulations to Sundowns. And on Saturday, Nikita Malelona, ke le support on Saturday.
Saturday tlang.
I'm still gonna support Sundowns. Sundowns has become my new best friend.
Yeah, we're not gonna go sign now. We're not bongs. For time, guys. For time. I'm gonna jump in. Hey, guys. Let me see. Look, these are my thoughts about the stuff. I don't like the conversation about Mbogazi and money, because I feel like the want of money is what's putting our players into tough situations when they go overseas. They go for the first offer and they get money. For sure, you get money, and then after that, what happens? Now you're back here later on. Kibabo Toli. Toli is playing in the first division right now. Well, I don't know if he's still at Cape Town City right now. I think we need to think long term as well when we talk about money, because the money has to be over your whole career. So it might seem slow now as a 20-year-old, but I'm pretty sure wherever he goes, he'd get pretty much what Pirates could offer you at the very least. A lot of the guys who do go overseas, they earn pretty much the amount that they earn here, if not a little bit more, right? Especially early. So what I'm proposing is that you have to think about where these players are going to go and where they're going to play and what their future is going to be. That's why when I looked into Chicago Fire, I liked the fact that Uko Chwabo is somebody who's known for youth. I like that. I like that Uko Chwabo is somebody who's known for trusting young players. He did it at the US men's national team. So maybe it's not a full-on, it's not a baddish move in that regard. I like the fact that they don't have the former European big players similar to Bernadeschi. What happened with Bernadeschi and them with Mailula. So at the very least, I think he might get game time. Now, what it does for his future, I don't know. And maybe the question we should be asking is, what is the pathway to go from South Africa to get to the EPL? Abo Rikhash, we did it quietly. Abo Lyle Foster right now did it quietly. Maybe we should be saying, what is the move to get our guys into the Bundesliga, into La Liga, into the French League, into the English Prem? How do we do that? And my fear for Mbogazi is that planning was not done. That planning, or he's going to go here and go there and go there and go there and end up there. I don't think they've done that. You even see it with the timing of the move. Imagine your star 20-year-old player going into an AFCON with a very strong Bafana team. Imagine what the prospects look like immediately after that tournament. Imagine your star 20-year-old player going into a World Cup next year, June. Imagine what his prospects look like when he walks out of that tournament. This 51 million could be peanuts. But again, you sit back and you go, oh, maybe because there's no planning, they're trying to get these monies now. They're recouping now. And I fear that for all of our youngsters, I fear that for Abu Vilakazi, what's the planning around Abu Vilakazi right now? What's the planning around Mfukeng right now? What's the planning around Puso Ditejan? What's the planning around all of the youngsters that are doing well in the league right now? Do they have a pathway that takes them to the world? And the sad part is, we're calling them youngsters. The world doesn't look at them as youngsters, guys. Imagine you're a player that's overseas, you're a team overseas, and you have to invest in this player who you're going to have to develop. Bogazi is still going to have to be developed. Right? He's 20. You have to bring him over. You have to look out for cultural differences. You have to look out for language differences. You have to look out for technical growth. You have to look out for all of those things. All of those things you have to think about. Why would you bring in a player like that? Maybe if they're 17, maybe if they're 16, you look past those things. But for a 20-year-old, it's tough out there, guys. It's tough. It's tough to go out there. And the sad part is, when Gavin sits here and says, guys, I don't get players ready for the PSL. I'm trying to get them ready to go overseas. When you see the track records of the Western Cape teams, more specifically with the colored players and the type of thinking they have that side, which is probably going to be a conversation we're going to have on this show one day, that there seems to be a difference in thinking. There's a reason why Nkot has gone. There's a reason why Nkot has gone. There's a reason. If you put him next to the other players. But anyway, when it comes to Sundowns, oh guys, Mina, I will die on this hill. Rulani got to choose his players. Rulani got to implement his football with his players. He was allowed to put Abohlompo Kekana to the side. He was allowed to move Abu Chali out when they were disrespectful and moving weirdly. He was allowed to make a lot of changes in that team in order to get to the football that he plays. Is it any surprise that Cardoso is bringing in Nuno Santos, he's bringing in a Rexinho, he's bringing in a Cupido who hadn't been playing up to that point, and maybe they start looking a little bit better. Maybe he also needs a chance to bring his players in and play his players with his system, because others got the chance. People forget that Rulani got 7 months of being a solo head coach before he had his first full season. He got his big chance to do that, and maybe that's the question Sundowns should be asking. Can we have these coaches that don't have the same influence as Abu Rulani had previously, and not allow them to buy their players and not allow them to... Can we craft a system around those guys? This guy is the first real test to Cardoso. When it comes to Chiefs, same old mistakes that are punished. Chiefs is a team that looks really busy, but they're not effective. They run. They run. All of the guys run. All of the guys do all of those things. What happens after that? What happens when you get into the box? And I hate it when coaches say, to me, no, you can't teach the final third. That's the problem. You know what the difference is? The differences between our players and the players overseas is that they've got a toolbox full of things that tell them where to go. I'm seeing, Temi Kosi saying, I think it's easier to work on a defender as compared with a midfielder or a striker. No, all those things are hard. What happens when you can't be physical in the game, Bokasi? We already saw him struggle a little bit with some of the players that he's faced. Malume Kutsu was saying that he's not the same guy. Though, that's development. What happens when you can't run head on with a player and beat them? What are the tools in your toolbox that you're taking out that can teach you how to do the different things? I cry for a league where we see predictable goals happening over and over and over and over again. Everything must be special. Solomons must run in from the side, and the Al-Masri player must trip and all of that for him to get that shot for a goal. That's the only goal Chiefs scored yesterday. I'm crying for a time where it's tap-ins. You watch a Pirates, and the Pirates has to score the most spectacular goals. That's the base of how they're playing. It's the most spectacular, out of this world goals. Instead of going, okay guys, How do we go, you know what, in the final third, as in to make a run like this, and I'm going to look for you to play a ball like this for a tap-in. Watch Abo Haaland, Amakulu corner. Look at how simple they become. That's what I'm striving for. And this thing, Yoguti, we're going to trust our players who weren't developed properly, weren't developed for this, to make the right decisions in the final third out of the blue. You're trusting Umdu to wake up out of the blue and have perfect decision making. You're trusting all of these guys to have perfect things. When you watch that side, it's just systems, Mzianda. It's just systems. Those guys know, Maseng Figalana, I have 1, 2, and 3. I always, just as the last thing, I always point to, they asked Cesc Fabregas, what is the difference between Arsenal and Barcelona? And he said, at Arsenal, we're making those things up. At Arsenal, when you see a really great goal back then, when you see a really great goal, it's not because Wenger told us what to do. It's because we just passed the ball amongst ourselves. We had a chemistry. When you get to Barcelona, Pep tells you, you stand here, you move there, you go here. When the ball is here, you are here, you are there. I'm looking for this ball. If that ball is closed, we go to that one. If that one is closed, we go to that one. Boring. The boring things is the difference. Abumbogazi, are they learning the boring things? But anyway, guys, for time, I'm going to end it. I'll be back tomorrow at 7:30 for the Pirates game. So please, if you have not followed, please follow. Please, if you have not checked out the content, please check out the content. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all of those very big things that help this platform. If you see anything with a brand, comment, guys, share, show that you are active. As I believe Pirates is going to be playing tomorrow, 7:30. We're here for the watch along. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to the gifts, everybody who sent gifts. Thank you to those who are in the comments. Thank you to those who are in who are in the panels. You guys make the show what it is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. And then, of course, if Chiefs, Pirates, mamelodi, Sundowns, bafana, banyana are in action, we will be here watching live, and you will be able to jump in and tell me what you are thinking about what we're talking about. See you guys then tomorrow, 7:30. Bye, everyone.